This is the Pro Tour. And the final round of the Pro Tour proudly brought to you by Bigfoot Express Freight. At Kyalami for the final round, this is where things are going to be wrapped up in the Goldwagen Challenge. Bigfoot Express Freight Day, and it looks like we're in for some great action in the ZX10Rs and the Goldwagen Challenge. Things off, we head off to the All Volkswagen Challenge, proudly brought to you by Goldwagen and their associate sponsors. 4 drivers in with a shot of the overall title in the Goldwagen Challenge. Darren Nathan is one of them, Atkinson is the other. Look out for Hurley and Needham. There are some mathematical chances to be sorted out there. Atkinson did it all right, out-qualifying Nathan in Class B, but Hurley still got to do some work to catch Ramsey in D.
We're here to wrap up championships, not only in categories, but in the overalls, and your numbers are looking good.
Yeah, that's correct. It's going to be a very tough weekend. I think the pressure's both on myself, on Rory Atkinson, on James Hurley. We all after that overall all-class win. There's only 2 points between Rory and I. It's very tight. He's very quick today. He was very quick yesterday, but I was just as quick. And we're right there. It's going to be a big scrap right till the end.
Hey, Rory, it's come down to this one. What is it, 3 points behind? That's gnarly.
Yeah, it's very, very close now. We just got to, it's all down to these last 2 heats now, so we just got to give it maximum attack on both of them and see how it ends up.
In Class A, Voldy Monkeys has already wrapped up the Class A Championship, so Lee Thompson came along to play in the new Polo and put it on pole ahead of Nobra and Smallberger. Look out for Needham pushing hard behind Roos in Class C.
Carlos, the second half of the season has been about you getting on the pace and getting up there and taking podiums. You moved yourself up into second on points.
Yes, sure, it's been great. Unfortunately, we had bad luck in the first season, first half of the season. But yeah, hopefully now it's come right, and hopefully for next year things will be better.
Not so good for Dean Gregory as he gets pushed to the sideline. Remember, it's all the classes starting here, and a massive field of cars. Each of the classes start separately with about a 10 to 15 second gap. And it looks like Lee Thompson has already got the drop on everybody and leaves Nobre and the rest of Class A to sort out the second place in Class A's for Goldwagen Challenge. Joining me in the commentary booth, as always, Graham Nathan.
Voldy Manke's sitting right in there in about 4th position, 4th or 5th. After winning the championship, he's got nothing to prove. He's going to play cameraman for us, I'm sure, and watch some good racing.
Good start there from Darren as he gets off the line and goes side by side there. Looks like the 2 polos are going to be pretty evenly matched there. I think it's going to be a bit of a battle because remember the championship is between those 2 and of course the man starting a little bit further back there, James Hurley. But Atkinson, well, he tried to get it out front and sort it all out. Darren Nathan though, drilling him into turn 1 and 2.
Absolutely, Darren got a great start out of the second position gate and just got to the corner, hung on to it, and he's in front.
Well, remember that there are some championships that have to be sorted out here today, not only in the classes but for the overall too. Wouter Roos with a superb start in the Class Cs as they head down into turn 1. He's also beaten Needham, and Needham has to get to the front end and win if he wants to be in contention for that overall.
Yeah, Wouter doesn't care about that overall. He just wants to go out there and give this Polo of his a swan song goodbye, because he's driving a new car next year. His son's going to be driving this one, and I hope the new car comes out better than this one, because this one's doing a great job.
Oh, Hurley's got a superb start, exactly what he needed to do, beating Lyle Ramsey into 1 and 2, and leads out the Class Ds as they head up towards 3 and 4. Lyle Ramsey right on his tail though, and already putting pressure straight back onto him, so I don't think Hurley's going to have it all his own way, although that's what he needs to. Because remember, coming into this round, it was between Hurley, Atkinson, and Francois Van Salke with Gavin Monroe. Monroe gets out of shape with a little tag there between the 2 of them.
Yeah, Gavin leaning on Francois. Francois just deciding, I'm staying on the racetrack. Whoa! Another almost great evasive action there by Needham. Jeez, like, that was black and see, almost T-boning him at the bottom of the mine shaft. Look how far he went off the road. That Mark 1 Golf, if he hadn't taken evasive action, young Needham, that car would have been scrapped.
Yeah, I think there was a good bit of driving from both of them there, because it looked as if he ran out of brakes completely. Hit the brakes, it locked up on that Golf 4, and well, Keegan Blackensee very lucky not to T-bone Needham, and great driving from Needham just to miss him.
Voldy Manke's that start in 4th position worked to his advantage. Yeah, we've got Trevor Bland all over the back of Elna Cruiser. Trevor's driving Warren Muir's motor car to fill up the field. So too is Steve Hurley. This field has got a little bit small due to the fact that the racing has gone so long into the year. The guys have run out of money, but there's still a whole bunch of enthusiasts and a whole bunch of racing to be done.
Certainly is. Trevor Bland putting the pressure on to Cruiser here. Now remember, coming into this round, Darren actually led on paper, but with all the drop rounds and everything, he's actually 1 point behind the man who's sitting right on his bumper. And I can tell you something, Atkinson is pretty keen to beat out Nathan today.
Absolutely. Just to interject there's a change in Class C. Needham has got ahead of Wouter Roos, and he's trying to sort out this championship for himself as well. Wouter's going to put his head down, drive as hard as he possibly can. He does not want to give it up. Needham getting it all sideways. Wouter going up the inside, squeezing the power on, staying on the racetrack and trying to keep it as smooth as he can.
That's exactly the kind of thing I've always been talking to you about as Lyle Ramsey takes Hurley for the lead of Class D. That's not what James Hurley needs to do. He has to win both races today. And in fact, it looks like they're coming up onto the back end of some of the slower cars from the C group. No problems there, just sneaking through. And C14 just being outgunned there. C14, in fact, is Dean Gregory, who managed to get his car going again, but he's now a couple of laps back, and I think he's probably just circulating to get back to pit lane. Yellow flags waving into the S's, so something's gone wrong here, and there'll be no overtaking. There's the car on the outside. It's the all-red car. I think that might have been Khat Rousseau, and he's parked on the sideline, so no overtaking into the S's until they can get that car cleared. If they do, or there's a possibility of a safety car here.
Yeah, there's definitely a possibility of a safety car. That car's parked in a really, really bad place. Oh, Rory getting it on the brakes, squarely trying to catch Darren. Darren is trying as hard as he can. He's staying on the racetrack. He knows he has to win, and in fact, he has to take the fastest lap.
They're coming up on Needham here. This is young Needham, yes, that's Quinton, and he's got a problem in that Golf. So whatever happened earlier on with him and Blackensee, it might have damaged that car, and I think he might be heading for pit lane.
Trevor Bland goes up the inside of Elna now. Is he going to leave her some space? He does. I'm sure Elna's on the outside. She's driving that Golf as hard as she can. This is a race for third position. There it is, a drag race to turn one. The Polo versus the Golf. Who has got it? Trevor's on the outside into one, but the inside into two. Can Elna go around the outside with him? Trevor Bland hanging on, taking a shortcut across the grass, but he makes it stick.
Yeah, he gets through on Elna. Good driving from the two of them there. Great respect from both drivers, and no inch given there whatsoever between them. Whoa, Bland's nearly sideways through four. You don't want to be doing that. I know how that feels.
He goes off on the inside, off on the outside. Come on, Trevor. Clean it up a little bit. Elna's going to take the position back, and I think she's trying to do that into Sunset. Trevor Bland trying as hard as he possibly can to stay ahead. This is not quite the Polo he's used to, but it also is a Polo, and he's used to a lot more power. Now he's got to use momentum and corner speed.
I want to ask you a question. Is it the same rules in Nathan Motorsport as Pepper Racing? If you get beaten by a girl, do you put pink mirrors on?
No, you get knocked for a very long time, and then you get to go race again.
Super duper. I'm looking forward to that. Mikey's though, here he comes, starting to make his way back to the front end. They are not seeing Lee Thompson. He has disappeared at the front end. I don't know where he's got to, but he has really shown that this new Polo of his is the mark of what Goldwagen Class A is going to be next season.
Indeed, it's a great idea that come through from Andre Haupt from Haupt Racing, and let's see if we can make it work. If we get enough interest, the cars will come back onto string where the noise will be right, the speed will be right, and it'll be a really exciting change for Goldwagen Challenge.
Gina Monroe sneaking through on Francois Vincel. Earcoat goes with her, and so here comes the Bat Lady. So it looks like Elka is also just having that superb end of the season to continue here at Kyalami. We saw how well she went at Swartkops, and she continues to go even better in that Mark 1 Golf of hers. And you can see just how well that car is working, because there's a three-way Golf 1 train coming through Sunset.
Indeed, they're Golfs all over the show. These cars just don't want to lie down and die. These cars were built probably about 20, 30 years ago, still creating great racing, great excitement, and cheap to run.
Yeah, awesome to run. Here is the battle at the front end of Class D, though. Hurley's there, so is Woody. And Adrian Wood, while he hasn't had a great end to the season, but all of a sudden he started to up the game here, but they still haven't caught Ramsey. Ramsey is still ahead of them, and it's a good 4-5 car lengths. That's not what James Hurley needs.
I'm sure James Hurley's actually worked it out, and he's probably just sitting there thinking, if I stay in second place and I do that for the last race of the year, which is one to come still, he should be okay. But Wood wants through, and so does Devon. They want to get ahead of him, and Lyle Ramsey is just putting his head down and driving away out in front.
Yeah, Ramsey can't afford to make any mistakes. He'd love to take the final bit of blood here for the season, but it is massive pressure being put on there, and it's coming from Woody. Woody is all over the back end of James Hurley. Hurley just hanging on. Remember, he is thinking about the overall championship, and by doing that, all of a sudden he's got onto the back end with about halfway to go, and Lyle Ramsey, well, he must have made some kind of mistake somewhere, because that 4-5 car lengths is now about 4 or 5 centimeters.
Absolutely, they are all there wanting that one little win. Oh, bad position for that motor car as well, coming out of the second S. But there's no safety car. Here it goes, up the inside of Ramsey goes Hurley. He knows that he has to just keep in front. But Ramsey has not let go. He wants it back. It's a drag race down to the bowl. Let's see who's got the biggest kahunas on the brakes and who can outbrake who here.
Well, he's going to try to come around the bowl and then hang on to that outside line so that he can cut the line off. It does compromise your drive out of the bowl, and hopefully he can hang on to it. It looks like things are changed up as well in terms of Class D. Well, it hasn't really changed because Vota hasn't found a way past the C2 machine, of course, of Needham. He is working hard, also looking at a possibility of the overall championship, but he needs 2 victories today and something to go wrong with Atkinson and, of course, it's gone wrong for Needham, though. He's made a mistake coming out of Clubhouse, and Vota sneaks through.
Vota is taking the pressure and putting it on Needham all the way. He has managed to get through. Vota slides into turn 1. Needham battling to get the car to turn in. I'm not sure whether or not there's a puncture involved there or something like that. Would be like really cruel luck for Needham if he has got a puncture or if something has gone wrong. But Vota capitalizing on it, goes to the front. He's catching on the back of the other polo in the class ahead of him. That's Jake Jacobs, who's out in a guest drive in one of the Nathan's cars, and he's having a blast.
He certainly is. This is the battle we're going to look out for, though. This is probably one of the most important ones on the track, other than the one that's happening in the Class Bs, because they come out now. Hurley is hanging on for dear life. He's done everything right. He's got past Ramsey, but Ramsey is not giving this up. Lyle Ramsey wants the final bit of victory. He wants to take the double here on the day. He's not worried about the championship, although he's going to find it very difficult to find a way past there. Nobre, though, absolutely hauling. Will he catch Lee Thompson? I don't think so.
No ways. Lee Thompson got the new 16-valve polo flying out in front. Nobre, though, out in front in Class A. He's ahead of Charles Smallberger, who's driving his dad's car, Derek's motor car for this particular race, doing an incredibly good job. Charles is actually going far better than his old man's ever been in that car.
Here comes Nathan. Nathan onto the braking markers, and there's a late move down from Atkinson. Wow, that was close. He nearly went up the inside of the six-straighter car, and he had no answer as Gavin Ross got out of the way, which I probably would have done as well. Good move there, Gav, not a bad option. But the checkered flag comes out. Race 1 victory for Class B goes to Nathan, and that has some huge implications for the championship.
Indeed, that makes it hard for the next one.
Class A to Nobre, and Class C going to Vota Rus.
Charles stepping up into Dad's car, and I'll tell you what, you looked like you were comfortable out there.
Yeah, no, that car was a huge improvement. I really got to grips with the polo, and a little more fine tweaks here and there, but I think we've got the pace, definitely.
I saw you kind of backing it into the final turn, so the thing's twitching a little bit, so you're going to have to dial that in.
Yeah, no, it's a bit loose at the back through the fast stuff, but we'll get working now and see if we can improve it for race 2. Yeah.
Photo looked like he had a pretty busy time of it in the Class Cs, and Andre's driving, well, you can see he's tense out there.
Yeah, Andre did very well. He was leading through yesterday through the practice, and then I got a lucky bounce in qualifying to pip him for qualifying. He started second, and then on the grid he had a good start like always. And in lap 2 he managed to pass me, and I then followed him. And once again on the long tracks the car did very well, and I managed to catch him just before the end.
As we said, permutations for Class B with Nathan taking the victory over Atkinson and Bland are huge. And Hurley winning out ahead of Ramsey. So let's see what the overall is going to be after race 2.
Darren, you knew you were going to have that bumper trailer all over you the whole day.
Yeah, absolutely. I managed at the start to get past Rory. He got a great start, but I think I just got a better one. But he tried and tried and tried at every corner. He was there. I just couldn't drive away, and it was intense right to the last lap.
James, final round of the championship and first heat of the Class Ds. Once again, Lyle is the shadow to you the whole way around this track.
Well, yeah, I think he was more of the man to beat this time. Yesterday he had much better pace than me, out-qualified me by about half a second. Yeah, and I came along in the race, but I think he was also giving me a bit of a leeway.
So it's race 2, it's 9 laps of action coming your way, and in terms of the championship, there's 1 point in it. There's a victory and a fastest lap that has to be made here.
You're talking about Class B. Darren Nathan has to win and take the fastest lap. Otherwise, Rory Atkinson is going to beat him. If they tie, Rory wins this championship by merit of overall wins in the year. Rory takes it from 7 versus 6, so Darren has got everything to do.
And remember, they're battling here with 7 cars in Class B. Down in Class D, though, where the other rival for the championship has 10 cars. So that has some permutations on the championship points too.
Going into turn 1, sorry, Greg. Darren sneaks up the inside, but Rory was left outside. Trevor Bland follows Darren through and has got into second place. This is going to be a huge outcome for Rory. Rory has to get past Trevor as quickly as he possibly can. Once again, a great start by VWChallengeSA. He sure knows how to get that polo off the line. But Needham looked like he was going up the inside. Yes, he has. He knows he also has to win this race.
And Munro, then you've got Craig Earcoat. A good start from him. We go on board with Francois Van Zyl as they come into 3 and 4. And remember, in Class C, although Needham had a chance at the beginning of the day, it's basically gone out the window now. He's going to have to wrap up Class C and just sort that out as the Class Ds get underway. And it looks like it is Hurley who gets the drop.
Absolutely. Hurley got out the gate beautifully there. Lyle Ramsey knows he just wants to go out and win. Hurley knows he doesn't probably have to win this race. Second would be good enough, but you know what young boys are like. The ego will take over, and they want to win the last race at Kyalami for the year.
So up onto the braking markers at West Bank in Class A, and it's real up there. Wow, it's getting real. Marbury side by side as we see a little bit of manoeuvring in the background there. It's Black and C and Monkey side by side. Lee Thompson's got to the front. Here comes the rest of the pack.
Jason Finney back in the car after a long time. Also getting a little bit of tyre rub. Voldy Monkey's up the inside. Black and C. No, he doesn't slam the door. He knows Voldy's there. They're pretty much teammates racing out of Masters workshop, and they don't particularly want to spend time fixing those cars over the festive season.
We come into 13 and line astern for the stripe machines as they come. It's kind of 3, 4, and 5 on the track. Needham under pressure, and Finney sneaks up the inside, tries to put a maneuver in, but doesn't quite make it stick.
How's this? Lee Thompson just probably sitting in front of Narborough going, come on, let's go. Let's see how long you can hang on. But Lee doing a great job. He started at the back of the field.
Oh, problems for Mikey's. Sorry to jump in. Mikey's slowing dramatically as they came into 1 there, and he's pulled to the sideline. Yes, looks like something's broken.
Oh no, Voldy Monkey's probably loving the fact that the championship is over and he can finish this race. But have a look at this. There's some damage here. Rory Atkinson's car's got damage. Trevor Bland around the outside. Rory goes up the inside. He has lost an entire lap. Look at the gap that Darren's got. Rory has got to put his head down and go. There's some damage there. There must have been a bit of a rubbing between Trevor and Rory. I don't see any damage on Trevor's motorcar, so who knows what happened there. Alma Cruiser sitting there going, hey, you guys want to push and shove, I'm going to take it away from you.
No, she's not worried about the championship. She's just worried about the trophies on the day. And that's not a bad thing to be worried about. I can tell you she has got the opportunity of getting there and stealing them away from Bland and from Atkinson. Atkinson has got it all to do now. He might have thrown this down the tubes, and it could play into the hands of this man, James Hurley, because if he stays ahead of Ramsey, there's a possibility the overall is going to go his way.
That'll be a great thing for a Class D car to take overall. The youngster has probably done everything he needs to do all year. He's just been consistent. He's been very fast. He's been very good. His car's been prepared superbly by Holt Racing. Lyle Ramsey locks it up and runs wide. Wood goes up the inside. It's going to be a drag race into turn, what's that, 4 now? That's the old Sunsets, Goodyear turn. Look at this. How close are those two going to each other? They're giving each other absolutely no space.
Yeah, well, there's enough space to play, but I think you can maybe get the Joker card in there. That's about all. Around the outside, Sunset corner for Woody. And it looks as if he's pushing that 2-door machine. Now, it looks like an original Golf 1 chassis, but it's actually the incredible Golf that Jannie van Rooyen used to run. And you'll know a little bit more about that. I think he used to weld those doors shut, so it looked like a Golf 1 original chassis. It's actually a standard City Golf chassis.
Indeed, he just made the cars a lot stronger. It was a trick that Jannie van Rooyen had, and it seemed to work. It's still working because that car is on the pace. But this is Class C. VWChallengeSA still all over the back of Needham, ahead of Munro, ahead of Van Zyl. I think that's Earcoat who's behind them there, and these guys are flat out for the last race of the year.
Yeah, there's no holding back now. Giles Darroch also having a superb run here. Look at this. Voldy Monkey's into pit lane as Darren Nathan comes through in the background, and Atkinson hasn't found a way to catch him. This is quite crucial. Are we going to see a fastest lap? I'm looking at the timing monitors, Nate. I don't know if he's got it just yet, but he is pushing it to the limit to get that fastest lap.
To run off the road like that, Rory is really trying everything he knows. making that car understeer. Trevor Bland, he's got his head tucked in behind that steering wheel. He wants to hang on. He wants a little bit of glory. You got Jake Jacobs in the game here as well. He's ahead of Hurley, ahead of Piet Potgieter. He's managing to get that old Nathan's Motorsport Renter rocket to run in about 5th position.
Not a bad effort there, I got to say. So keep it up, guys. That's what it's all about. Smallberger behind Black and Sea. And you can see they're continuing their little battle. Whoa, smoking gun in the background. And that is Needham again. It doesn't look like, unfortunately, Quint's final run here has not been the one he wanted. Definitely a problem on that Golf 1.
Indeed, there's a bit of smoke coming from the left front wheel. That's normally due to an oil leak that's running onto the disc. It probably won't affect the tyre as much as it looks. But, well, if it is, he hasn't noticed because he's still flat out.
Yeah, he's not worried about it.
Oh,
Speaking of flat out, running wide again is Atkinson. And Bland sitting there going, if something goes wrong, 2nd place is mine.
Yeah, I'm going to go and get it. But it looks like Rory's catching Darren. So with regards to that fastest lap permutation, I'm not sure. It might go Rory's way. Can Darren do enough to take this championship? We'll have to see at the end. That's when it all tallies up.
Yeah, here they go up towards the top of the hill once again, and Alma Cruiser doing a superb job here as our camera lady. Oh, there was hard braking there from both of those polos. The most intense came out of Atkinson's. That's how hard he is pushing. Wow, we are in an epic battle here for the final part of the season. And of course, this is the championship race.
Absolutely. Darren Nathan knows that he's got to do that fastest lap. I think he's got his head down. He's locked the brakes up, trying everything he knows in that Sex Trader Polo to take the fastest lap, make sure that the whole year was worth going to the last round and putting pressure on his brother.
Yeah, it's awesome stuff. Philip Cruiser goes through, and little battle continuing a little bit further back here, and it's kind of happened all season long. The Batmobile is out there in the dark night. Well, he hasn't had a superb day, that's for sure. But Henry van Vletter, nonetheless, back out there in the Golf 2.
Absolutely. Some smoking there from, I think it's Kapt car, that also from the rear wheels, probably an oil leak, maybe a little bit of rubbing from the bodywork. Oh!
Change for
up
second.
The inside goes Lyle Ramsey. He goes down into the bowl, goes up the inside of Wood. This is a drag race now into turn 4. He's saying to him, come on, let's go. And he flicks it into turn 13. Oh, runs wide.
Oh, he's run big.
Bang! A big jump there for that motor car. All of a sudden, the car squirrely has something broken. That was a real jump. That was a real bump. Looked like something fell out of the right front of the car. Although he's still on it. If it's happened once again, he hasn't noticed.
Love the fact that on the side of the car it says for sale. I think it's definitely for sale now. Right, Devin Piazzamussa puts the pressure now onto Ramsey. He realizes that Ramsey is trying a little bit too hard than what he'd like to be. A little bit of a braking there and a brake check. And look at how it's starting to squirrel through there. There's definitely something wrong with that car.
Something wrong there. That car is not handling like it should. Devin goes up the inside, well actually around the outside into turn 3 and 4. He has got to put his head down and go after Wood. But out in front, in Class D, we've got Hurley. He's doing exactly what he should. What's going on here? It looks like Rory Atkinson has got a problem.
Atkinson has been battered by Cruiser. Yes, indeed, he's slowing down. So whatever's gone wrong on that car, this is huge. For the championship in Class B and the overall championship, if Atkinson slows this dramatically, hello, this is going to be a 2-horse race now. It is up to Darren Nathan and James Hurley to try and sort it all out on the track.
Absolutely, and both of them are leading their class. What a great fitting finish to the guys racing for the championship to be both leading. But Wood has not let go. He still wants that position.
Can't believe how these guys are giving it everything they can here. Woody's going to come up the inside into Westbank. He's got good drive, and it looks as if he's going to have a run here. Will Hurley give it up? He cannot afford to. Remember, more championship points in the bag are vital, especially now the fact that Atkinson's out. He doesn't know that. That's the one crucial thing we've got to take into account. As they head up onto the top of the hill, oh, there, now he'll know. Atkinson's parked on the sideline, so Hurley will know all about that. And will he give up that position to Wood? Has he got the calculations right?
I don't think give up is a word that any racing car driver owns in his vocabulary, but it looks like it. He's decided that second is good enough. He's seen Rory Atkinson's car parked on the side of the racetrack. He knows that the competition is over due to the fact that there are not enough cars in that class.
Unbelievable how that comes into play, and just looking forward to the 2013 because I know there's lots of guys who are coming to play here in Goldwagen Challenge. This man tried it hard. Unfortunately, on the final lap though, the Sex Trader car, even though he's won his class, he's got the fastest lap in that class. There's just not enough cars to play with.
Indeed, that Sex Trader car doing exactly what it needed to do. do. Darren probably also saw Rory parked on the side of the road, rolls out the throttle, but this is not over. Charles Smallberger, bang, into the back of...
that could be Radiator.
It's definitely Radiator. Hopefully he pulls off really, really quickly, otherwise his dad's not going to love him for destroying that engine. But he's on it. He's straight on the throttle. Let's have a look. Does he go in the pit lane? It's the last lap. It might be just in time. But out in front, we've got Carlos Nobre taking the win in Class A.
Black and C is going to hang on for second, and Smallberger is going to come through for third. And there you can see that is Needham coming across the line there. And unfortunately, his championship will have to be only the Class C one. Darren Nathan in the Sextrator car comes to take the checkered flag, and he's going to take the Class B victory in the championship and second place overall for the Sextrator and Nathan's Motorsport team.
Indeed, Trevor Bland right behind him in second position, flashing the lights. A great finish for Trevor. First time out, having a blast. Elna Cruiser finishes in third position. Brilliant driving by these guys.
A confirmation of the results as they cross the line in Class A. It's all about Nobre, Black and C and Smallberger. Jason Finney and Gossman 4 and 5. Berta Rus wins out Class C ahead of Munro, Darragh, Van Zel and Eckhout.
Andre, it's a good thing you wrapped up the championship in that first heat, because the second one didn't look like the best.
No, it was disastrous. It was unexpected misfire on the third lap. I just tried to circle just to get some points, but it wasn't for me.
I was hanging over the fence. It sounded awful.
No, it was, I think, the first challenge car in 2 cylinders, eh?
An amazing dice for Class B's battle. Nathan winning that one out. Class D went to Woody. The overall title and the Class D title going to James Hurley.
Rory, he has to settle for the number 2 again.
Look, unfortunately for Rory, I mean, it's never nice taking a win like that. I mean, the guy broke, or I don't in essence know what happens, but it would be nice to scrap it out right till the last lap. Yeah, overall would have been a nice bonus, but at least we got Class B.
That is all the way to the top of the pile.
Yeah, I got out in the front and I thought I'm just going to go for it. And then I saw everyone was a big gap. And then Adrian started coming. I thought, I'm not going to try bother holding on. No, I just needed second. So I just took the second and the win for the overall. And that's all thanks to everyone that's helped me, my dad, Lee, Andre, Gavin, everyone. It's the whole challenge.
Class D and the overall championship goes to James Hurley. Darren Nathan takes second place overall and the Class B title. Needham in Class C and Goldie Monkeys takes Class A. A big thanks to Goldwagen and all our associate sponsors for the 2012 action from the Goldwagen Challenge.